Welcome to the Heroic Voice. I am here on, what is today? It's June 26th, I think. No, 28th.
Yep.
28th. And I'm here with Frank Mastromauro of Aspen Comics, who is here to talk about Aspen Comics and maybe a little bit about himself too. This is the Heroic Voice, where I talk to comic book creators and other interesting people on a variety of subjects. I am Dennis Maloney, publisher of the Heroic Multiverse, where we feature good girl and bad girl artwork, super babes, and all kinds of Silver Agey style stories. Frank, it's a
Yep.
pleasure to have you here. Before I get started,
Yep.
I should, because I forget this sometimes, I want to encourage people to like this channel, to
Mhm.
share it, and to subscribe, because that's the only way that we get more people here to see
Definitely.
these wonderful interviews that we do. Oh, so you ready?
Yes, for
Let's
sure.
get
Thank you for
started.
having me.
How did Aspen Comics begin?
Oh my gosh. This was over 22 years ago now, and myself and Michael Turner, we were finishing up a big tour that we had, and it was just a little inkling of an idea of what would happen if we started our own company. And then the end of that year, we wound up just going for it. He and I were at Image Comics at Top Cow, Mark Silvestri's company at the time, and it was a life-changing event because we didn't know if we were gonna be around for 6 months or 6 years or now going on 23 years. So it was definitely a wild time for us, but we launched Aspen in early 2003, wound up in a small little situation with Top Cow that I won't go into, but all of that is now water under the bridge. And we wound up putting out our first books the following year. And that was actually a blessing in disguise because we also had a lot of good friends in the industry. And Jeff Johns and Jeff Loeb were at DC, and they were like, hey, why don't you come do something with us as well? So we wound up doing the return of Supergirl for DC. We wound up doing 100 plus covers for them. And then over the years, a few years later, we wound up doing 7,500 plus covers for Marvel and Aspen. We've definitely, I feel, have what's the best way to phrase this? We've definitely towed our own line in terms of all of the stuff that we produce at Aspen, Fathom, and Soulfire, and now the brand new Ekos, which I will definitely talk a whole bunch about shortly. But all the different IP that we've produced over the years, probably 30 plus different properties, all of those we love and we cherish and everything. And likewise, we love doing work with all of our good friends at Marvel and DC and having these giant big projects that come out for them that we got hired for. We worked on the original covers for Marvel Civil War. As I said, we did the return of Supergirl. We've worked on some of the biggest projects in the industry over the last 20 years, and we're very proud of that. And that has really helped us cultivate an amazing fan base because people that might not necessarily have known about Aspen or the books that we've done definitely knew about, Civil War or the different DC projects we were working on. So it really helped us to build and cultivate an incredible fan base for what we do and all the projects that we've worked on. So it's been a pretty amazing ride for the last 20 plus years for sure.
Well, the point of this is to make Aspen Comics a bit more prominent for people who might have tuned in just
Yep.
for your name, who may not be aware that you have your own comic book line. So let's take a step back.
Sure.
Before we get into the thing you really want to pitch right now,
Yep.
let's, what was the first book that you ever did under the Aspen Comics imprint?
Me personally or Aspen itself as the
Aspen
company?
itself,
So
or you
Aspen
personally.
itself.
We can do both.
Yeah, well, at Aspen, it's amazing. We have a group of all like-minded individuals who Mike brought together in this one amazing family. Michael Turner, before he passed away, we all had our own projects and all of our own properties that we worked on, and still do to this day. So it was a really amazing camaraderie because Mike would be working on Fathom or Soulfire, and then together we were working on Shrugged, and then we have so many different properties that have come out. But the first book we did was we had a preview issue for Fathom, or sorry, for Soulfire the Soulfire preview and the Ekos preview at Pittsburgh Comic Con 2003. Those were the very first books we ever published, and we did 750 copies and thought that was going to last us all summer for all the different shows we had coming up, including San Diego. And we literally sold out of everything we brought by Saturday morning, and we had nothing at the booth because that was the only thing we had was those two books. We didn't have anything else. So the rest of the convention, Mike and I sat there and hung out with all our fans, and he did sketches for people. And the show promoter wound up bringing a TV down for us that Sunday, and we watched football with everyone at the booth. It was insane because we were totally expecting to have those two preview books for a good 4, 5, 6 months, and they lasted a day.
But that's
So,
a happy thing,
oh,
right?
for sure,
It's a wonderful experience. I mean, it's experience that you have occasionally. I
of
remember
course.
going to Calgary, right, for
Yep,
Canada, bringing stuff and coming home with nothing, right,
yep,
because everything's sold. Those
yep.
those are wonderful, wonderful
Yeah,
experiences.
those are amazing shows. We've had so many different experiences like that, and we knew that Pittsburgh show, we made the right decision, and we knew that Aspen was going to be something very special and have the longevity that we were hoping for. Because, like I said, we didn't know if we were going to be around 6 months, 6 years. But for us, that moment, we really felt we had something going. And at that point, we started releasing all of our different books. Before we released Fathom, we had a mini series called Fathom Dawn of War, which introduced Kiani, this really popular character from the Fathom storyline. And then Fathom came back with a different artist, with Michael Turner doing covers. And of course, we launched Soulfire, which was Michael Turner's own book that we worked on originally with Jeff Loeb for several issues. And then he left because he had all the Marvel TV stuff going on, and he was just so incredibly in tune with so much stuff that was going on at that time. So we wound up meeting JT Kroll, who is now one of our closest friends and one of our biggest allies in terms of everything we've produced. And he's been a part of our company now for 20 plus years and has written pretty much every Soulfire story we've ever put out. And he worked on that with Michael up until Michael's passing in 2008, and has carried on the torch ever since with the storylines and everything that has come after Mike left us. But yeah, those first couple years, it was amazing because we had brand new Fathom Volume 2. It was the first volume of Fathom after we had left Image, and we started a brand new Fathom storyline. And then here comes Soulfire, this brand new Soulfire book that was the number one selling independent comic that year when it debuted. And we started introducing all these other books, Shrugged and Charismagic, and so many different things. Like I said, now we have over 30 different IP that we've put out since we started Aspen. But yeah, those first couple years were pretty amazing because not only did we have our Aspen properties that were all debuting or all fresh and new and exciting, we were also, like I said, working on the DC stuff that was all going gangbusters. I mean, Michael Turner would draw a flash cover and sales would go up 30, 40,000 copies. It was crazy. There wasn't a book that they were putting out at the time that they didn't ask us to do a cover on, because having Mike and us do a cover with Peter Steigerwald, of course, the co-owner of Aspen with me. He was Mike's creative partner on everything we did at Aspen. And so with Mike and Peter on a cover, it would guarantee, minimum 15, 20,000 plus more sales on whatever book we did a cover on. So pretty much every other day I was getting emails from the editors at DC. Hey, can Mike do a cover on this? Hey, how about a 6 issue run of this? Hey, how about this? And we're like, okay, okay. It was a pretty wild, crazy, just incredible time, for sure.
So, in a sense, you were following in the tradition of gorilla covers in the 60s. Every time DC put a gorilla on the cover, sales would go up 20%.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. Mike was their new 800-pound gorilla in the early 2000s on covers.
All right, your first book.
My first book was years and years ago back at Image. I worked on a few video game comics actually at the time, but my first full creator-owned book was Shrugged with Michael Turner. He and I created that book together, and I did all the writing on the book. Mike, of course, worked on it with me as well, but after Mike passed, I continued on with Shrugged, and we've done 3 volumes of that book, which was so much fun. We were, maybe toying with bringing it back at some point in the future, but it was a lot of fun. And I think I have now 5 total properties that I've done, just myself that I've created and written and everything. And like I said, everyone at work has multiple properties that they write and create. Peter Steigerwald, as I said, our co-owner there, he has an amazing book called The Zoo Hunters, which people love. And Vince Hernandez, our editor-in-chief, has several books, Kara's Magic and Damsels in Excess. Uh, Death Princess, quite a few things he's done. Mark Roslin, our VP of Design and Production, he has several books that he's done, Bubblegun, Portal Bound. So we all have our own properties that we write and create, and we build specific creative teams for those books. So it's a lot of fun because over the years, we all got to, flex our creative muscles in different projects and different things that we've all done. Yet, we all work for Aspen. And of course, we have the bigger goal of making sure Aspen is hugely successful and all the books we put out, hopefully they do well. So it's great because it's not as if we're all working on our own book by ourselves. We each, critique and comment and edit and go over each other's stuff. So it's an incredible working relationship that we've all built at the company over the years that we can get into the biggest fights in the universe, and the next day we're still working hand in hand and side by side and getting stuff accomplished and laughing and having fun the next day. It's relationships that have been built through, sweat and tears. Losing Michael Turner was one of the toughest things that we ever went through. And all of us have become better people because of the relationships that we've built over the years at work from being colleagues and friends and all the above. So we're very proud of what Aspen represents and what we've brought to the comic book community.
We're assuming that everybody seen this will know what
Mhm.
Shrugged is. I don't think that's a safe assumption. Why
No,
don't you take a moment and give a capsule description for people who may not know what that's all about?
sure. Shrug definitely hasn't been around for a little while, so it's not one of our newer books, but it is something that myself and Michael Turner had an amazing time building and creating the worlds. In a nutshell, it'd be sort of a fresh take on the way Roger Rabbit was presented, where it started off in the real world, went to the Toon world, and both of those worlds collided. Shrugged is what if the voices inside your head were real? Pixar-ish style where we gave meaning to the butterflies in your stomach and the gut feeling and all these different things, and how when you're born you have a little angel and a devil on your shoulder, and we call them Anges and Devs, and everyone's is different, and everyone's has different attitudes and different characteristics which help mold you into the type of person you become as you grow. And our story stars this young kid Theo, who winds up discovering his Ange and Dev exist and are on his shoulders, and he winds up going to their world, which is called Perspecta, and it winds up causing this catastrophic, problem that needs to be fixed. And without going too much into the, spoiler territory of the story, it was something that we had a blast creating because at the time Michael Turner was doing chemo and he would have these vivid dreams that he very much remembered, so many of them. And it was really cool because a lot of mornings we would just sit there and I would take notes as he would talk about his dreams and everything. And we came up with a lot of really fun ideas that we explored within the pages of Shrugged. And it's not just some outlandish story, it has a very cool meaning as to what is the meaning of a true person, because you get so many influences from social media and friends and all these outside sources that are your own decisions really your own? And so we explored that and shrugged quite a bit, and it became a very popular book that we had done for quite some time. And like I said, we're thinking about bringing it back at some point. It'd be a lot of fun. But I'll have to see how much story I have to tell for that, because we we figured out a way we had a really good beginning, middle, and end for it. And so
Now you need an
yeah,
epilogue.
yeah, we'll have to see how that goes. We'll have to see how that goes.
Alrighty.
Um,
Alrighty. Now let's talk about now.
sure.
You have a project that you really want to talk about, I gather.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's called Ekos. And David Maisel, who is the founder of Marvel Studios, he is our co-owner. David has been our business partner for a little over 7 years now. He's one of the most amazing people I've ever met in my life. I've learned so much from him over the years. And he, when he came on to Aspen and became our co-owner, he was the person who was going to take all of our properties and make them into movies and TV shows and just go forward with all of our multimedia. Uh, like I said, he founded the Marvel Universe. He's the one who kicked off Iron Man and Thor and Captain America, the first Avenger, and got the Avengers movie put together and wound up selling Marvel to Disney. He's the one who brokered that entire deal. I mean, every single one of those movies that you watch, you see David Maisel, founding chairman of Marvel Studios in the credits. He knows everyone in the business. And what's so great is David has such a keen eye for taking something that on paper is so creative and then making that into an incredible feature film. And so we entrusted him wholeheartedly with all of our properties. And for several years, he was working on Fathom and Soulfire as a feature film. It was going to be fully animated. We were working with several different animation homes, and everything was starting to look amazing. We had directors, we had scripts, we had all this stuff going. And then, of course, COVID hit, and no woe is me, because obviously COVID affected everyone, but that put us on a whole different trajectory, because obviously there was no studio or no company that was going to pay, 50 million, 75 million, 100 million, whatever the price is for a big feature film. So David knew of Ecos because we had a preview 20 plus years ago that had come out. And at the time, it was with Jeff Johns, who anyone on here who knows comics knows Jeff Johns became one of the main creators at DC, wound up becoming their executive COO on all the different movies and everything he worked on. I mean, he just became one of the guys at DC and was in charge of their feature films and everything. And so Ecos over the years just never happened because obviously Jeff was so busy with that. And out here, us at Aspen, we were working and everything we were doing. So David, with the downtime we had because of the pandemic, we wound up coming up with this incredible new Ecos universe where everything wrapped in a nice, incredible, creative bow under one umbrella. So Fathom, Soulfire, different properties would be a part of this brand new Ecos universe, but Ecos with Gurel, the main character, and Jakku, his little bird character, and all the new characters within the book would lead the charge for a brand new story that would push everything in a whole new direction. Not a reboot, not a revamp. We weren't redoing everything, but we were basically just changing course of how everything had run for the 15, 17 years prior and creating this whole new universe, this whole new world focused and solely around this brand new Ecos universe. And so for years, the last several years, we worked on that. We had an incredible drop that came out during the pandemic that we took Michael Turner's artwork from Ecos and we made it into these incredible digital assets that we had an amazing turnout for. And then we pivoted to doing a brand new Ecos comic book after 20 plus years. We were so excited because we were working and building this whole new Ecos world that we were so proud and so happy to finally be diving into. And we did this massive crowdfunding campaign for it last year, and it finished up the end of the fall. and we actually wound up finishing the book earlier this year, and we shipped it out to all the backers in April, end of April, early May. And we couldn't be happier with the turnout and with the response we've gotten to it. And now it will be coming out in stores later this year. Obviously, there's been a whole bunch of turmoil with the distributors and everything, but we're working through that. And we're going to have Ecos brought to the fans in all the comic book stores around the country and around the world as soon as we can. It'll be just a few more months, but we're really excited to get those issues out to everybody in the stores. And in the meantime, everybody can pick up Ecos Volume 1 directly from us. And we're going to have Ecos Volume 2, which we're already working on now, that will follow up Ecos Volume 1. So we couldn't be more thrilled to have this brand new universe based off of the art and creations of Michael Turner and what Jeff Johns helped him work on in that first or early preview issue. And we've just basically expanded upon the storyline, a thousandfold, and have created a brand new universe around it. So, yeah, Ecos is definitely something we are extremely proud of, extremely happy, and we feel Mike would have been very proud seeing it uh, on the shelf and in people's hands, and having all of his fans reading something that he worked so hard on building so many years ago before he passed. So we're definitely thrilled to have Ecos out for the world now.
You suggested that people could order the book now. I would assume that would be at some place like aspencomics.com.
Yes, in fact, we have an Aspen store, and the hardcover itself is going to be debuting in just a few weeks because we're bringing it to Comic-Con for the first time. We wanted to give a little bit of a window between us fulfilling it to our backers and getting out to everyone, make sure they all receive their packages and everything. And we are 100% fulfilled. We're very happy. This was our fourth crowdfunding campaign, and we feel we've executed them all to a T, and thankfully I can count on one hand the problems we've had. So I'm very proud of that as well, that we were able to do such huge projects and get them out to people across the world. And so now, yes, Ecos will be debuting in just a few weeks at Comic-Con, and it will be debuting on aspenstore.com. So people will be able to get it from us, like I said, and see what it's all about. So
So
we're
it's aspenstore.com.
AspenStore.com. Yes, we do have AspenComics.com, of course. That's our main website. But we have a full online store that we've had for over 20 plus years. And yep, AspenStore.com is where everything Aspen is available.
All righty. What about you? You on social media? Where can people go to follow you, what you're up to?
So all of my everybody always yells at me because all of our social media usually is on Aspen Comics, because everything we're doing when we're at conventions, when we're at events, it's always on Aspen Comics. So I usually don't double post and put stuff up on my own, but I'm just Frank Mastromauro on Facebook, on Twitter. Truthfully, a lot of people yell at me because they're like, Frank, you got to post more personal stuff. And I'm like, well, everything gets posted on our Aspen boards because we're covered everywhere on Aspen Comics. We have our Facebook, our Instagram, our Twitter. We're all over the place for Aspen Comics. And same with Ecos. We have a really cool website for Ecos, ecos.io, which has all of the different digital images on there for people to see, like I was talking about. And Ecos is all over the place. We did an incredible digital drop for that about a month and a half ago, which was amazing. So yeah, we make sure we have a really good team at work that takes care of all of our social media. And so for the most part, I always think, well, that covers me as well. I'll usually post if I go to like a fun concert or a cool event or something. But for the most part, you'll find me on all of our Aspen Comics social channels.
Let's just say that you're so busy working on the comics that you don't have time to
For
to
sure.
promote your personal stuff. Ah,
For sure.
yeah, absolutely. What's coming up
So besides the Ecos Volume 2, which we're
besides the
working,
Ecos Volume
yep,
2? What
besides
do you
Ecos
have
Volume
on your
2.
back burner? What would you really like to do that you haven't been able to do yet?
Yeah, so we definitely have a few big projects that can't announce them just yet. We have one that we should have intel for everybody in about 3 weeks. We're getting close. It'll be an announcement right before Comic-Con. And then at Comic-Con, we do have a few announcements coming up, and we will be previewing potentially some of Ekos Volume 2 for everyone there at the show. So we're very excited because Comic-Con, we're here in Southern California, and this will be our 22nd Comic-Con where we're thrilled to be going back this year. And we have a very fun panel that's going to be Thursday afternoon at 1 o'clock on uh, at Comic-Con. So people that come to the panel are going to be in for a treat. We will have some few announcements there. And then I literally just built about a month ago a new plan for 26, 27, 28 for the next 3 years because our 25th anniversary is in 2028. So I'm already putting some of the pieces together and getting the schedule built so that way we have a very good roadway leading up to the 25th anniversary in 2028. So you'll start seeing a lot of new stuff from us. It's funny, the past 2 years, all we've been working on is Ecos. We've only had a handful of things out in the stores that have been new. And everybody's like, is Aspen around? What's going on with you guys? Are you and Peter okay? And we're like, yeah,
Yeah, I know how that goes. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
we're like, no, we're great. We've been working on, one of the biggest projects we've ever worked on. So we're really excited and grateful that we've had this opportunity to do that. But we also fully understand the comic book industry that if you don't have something on the shelf this week, you're kind of out of sight, out of mind until you get something back on the shelf. So we for sure understand, and all of our retail partners, we have so many incredible retailers that we've worked with over the years and that are good friends of ours, and they're always like, "Hey, we can't wait till your next books are coming out." And so we have a really good plan, I feel, in place. Like I said, for the next couple years, we'll start getting back and start getting stuff on the shelves and start making sure all the fans know, whoa, wait a second, Aspen, not only they're still here, they have some pretty incredible stuff coming out. And likewise, you probably haven't seen the end of us with some Marvel and DC projects because as I said, we're great friends with a lot of people over there, and we always get different things presented. And there's a few things on the burners in that regard as well for those two companies. So believe me, we love our properties with all our heart, and we also have a fun time working on Superman and Batman and Spider-Man and all that fun stuff. So yeah, it's I always pinch myself that my job is to work on incredible comics and have a lot of fun building these characters and creating these worlds for hopefully others to enjoy. It's always a pleasure, and we never take that for granted. We always have a lot of discussions to make sure that what we feel we're putting out is right and that people will like it and just or hope people like it and uh, see how it goes. So yeah, it's always a fun job for the most part.
Let's wrap this up with some advice, okay?
Sure.
Let's say that you're a young artist, you think you have some talent, right?
Yeah.
How would you recommend that a writer, artists know what to do? How
Okay.
does a writer?
So that's a great question. And we do tons of portfolio reviews all the time at conventions, and we actually have some scheduled for San Diego, which we're excited for. And my advice now, because I feel, I mean, this is just my opinion, of course, but putting out comics today is truthfully 1,000 times easier. Easy is the wrong word. Easy is the wrong word. Let me think of a different word. Accessible than it was 10 plus years ago. I mean,
It's
yeah,
doable. It's
yeah,
doable.
you have print
It,
on demand. You have so
mhm.
many different things. You don't need to have inventory. I mean, it's incredible the opportunities that are there for people, especially with crowdfunding, for new writers, for new artists. I mean, for us, Aspen, I've always said getting in writing with us is very difficult just because, as I expressed earlier, all of our properties already have the writer built in. So if we're doing a new Shrugged, I'm the one writing it. If we're doing a new Charismagic, Vince is the one writing it. If we're doing Soulfire, JT's writing it. So it's always been hugely difficult for writers to break in with Aspen. Artists, that's a whole different situation because we're always looking for different artists that might work on different properties. So we always do portfolio reviews. But for any writer out there, for any artist, I mean, writer, if you feel you have an incredible project, something that is worthy of seeing print and getting out to the masses, go to conventions, go to your local ones. You don't have to spend a ton of money, flying across the country. There's literally a Comic Con of some level, of some size,
Pretty much every weekend.
pretty much every weekend, except maybe Christmas, right? There's literally a Comic Con every weekend somewhere. So go check it out, peruse Artist Alley, find a young artist that you like their style, that you like what they offer. Uh, Perhaps, start off with them, give them a trial, uh, and see if they can do something you like, and then just take it from there. For artists, submit. Definitely don't get discouraged if you don't hear back immediately. So many people, like myself, I mean, I get, 100 plus emails a day just on work stuff, and doesn't even include, all the spam and junk mail. So,
Yeah, I will interrupt and second that. You know,
yeah.
you may not get a response immediately, right? But if you catch the person that you're submitting to
Yeah.
his attention, he will get back to you.
For sure. That's how almost every artist we've ever worked with that has been on something for a proper length of time, not just a cover artist or something, but any artist that has worked on one of our projects for 3 issues, 6 issues, 8 issues, whatever, we've either met all of them through either portfolio reviews or online submissions or something to that effect. And we've brought them out to the studio. They've worked with us for a week or two. Because truthfully, no matter how amazing an artist is, you got to get to know the person because you're going to be working with them daily for months, if not years. And so you want to make sure that compatibility is there, that they have the same type of drive and work ethic that everyone else has. There's a lot that goes into it. And we feel, like I said, at Aspen, we've cultivated an amazing group of people that do have all that work ethic. And now, like I said, bringing on David Maisel, the founder of Marvel Studios, he's also instilled this incredible just sense of, oh, you know what? You guys have been in a great comic book company for a long, long time, but let's bring you to the next level, right?
He's
Let's have
opening up possibilities.
yeah, exactly. And he's opened our eyes in so many different ways of things that we just thought were commonplace for years. It's like, well, wait a minute. If we try to do it like this, then that'll get us to here. And then all of a sudden it opens all these other doors. And so it's just been such an incredible learning experience. I feel, I've been in comics since 1996, and I've definitely done a lot of different things, but learning and having David as a mentor and as an ally and as a friend has been an incredible experience for us that we could never, put a price on. It's been fantastic having him, and everyone at work just pushes and still has the same drive and desire to see, not just Aspen succeed, but to see Mike's name up there on a movie one day as we're sitting in the theater. I mean, I'm gonna cry like a baby the first time that
Yeah.
happens. You know what I mean? So yeah, no matter how long we've been doing this for, that fire is still there, and we're so excited to have the opportunities that we have.
Well, Frank, I want to thank you for this. It's been a pleasure to. I don't think we've ever spoken face to face as it were
Yeah, no, I
before.
don't think so, and I'm
All
sorry
these
it took
years
so
we've
long
both
for
been in the
us.
comic book industry
I
and we've
know.
never done this. So this
Yeah.
was a great pleasure. Um, Let me encourage people, right, to go to aspenstore.com, grab, the books if you don't have them, because they're
Yep.
good. They really are. Yeah.
Yep,
Uh,
you can peruse so much stuff on the store, and what's cool is we have starter editions for less than $10, where you're like, oh, I've never tried this before. What is it? You can try it for, $7, whatever, not break the bank, and then if you like it, then you go back and get more. But we've always encouraged people to just, hey, we're not hard sell. If you like our stuff, you like our stuff. If you don't, you don't. That's okay. But thankfully, pretty much everyone who ever tries Fathom, tries Soulfire, tries some of our books, they come back for more, and we're very proud and happy about that because we feel we put out books that people like to gravitate towards and storylines that people like to read and get into. So, yeah, it's definitely check out aspenstore.com, check out our website, follow us on all of our different socials on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Aspen Comics. We have all of those hashtags, so you can check us out in so many different places.
all right, Frank, I want to bid you a good weekend, and we will wrap this up and thank everybody for coming here to listen to this.
Yes, thank you so much, Dennis. Thanks for having me. Appreciate
You're
it.
welcome.